Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spawn Trap podcast, the only podcast that is also an Xbox. I am Till. I'm joined once again by Court. Do you have any idea what that? I made that joke to you once before, but I wasn't too sure if you understood what that was. Okay. There's a recent marketing campaign from Xbox where they're trying
The
to.
podcast thing, right? They're trying to do podcasts or some shit?
Don't know about
No.
that.
I heard
If you
some news about podcasts, so just
okay.
disregard that statement in general.
Okay. If you know anything, let me know. We can talk about it on the podcast today. No, there's after the Activision acquisition that we've spent so long talking about,
Mhm.
they're now poised to be in the position like, hey, you can play our games anywhere. I mean, they're putting our games on PlayStation, putting games on Switch, they're putting games everywhere, right? So now their whole goal is to say like we suck at selling the consoles. Nobody buys our consoles. So now we're just gonna call everything an Xbox. So
Oh,
literally anything that you can play an Xbox game on is now considered an Xbox. So now they have a big marketing thing where they're showing like pictures of
okay.
devices, like your phone, and like you're reading this advertisement on an Xbox. Your phone is an Xbox.
Wow.
And then they have like other things that like a cat house, like a little box that they sleep in.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a cat box. Like, so they're just trying to differentiate what is and what is not an
Cool.
Xbox.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
They're just branching out.
I
They're
think
like, this is our marketing.
I think they're also selling like shirts and stickers and stuff that say this is an Xbox or this is not an Xbox. So you
Brilliant.
can find
Love
them.
that.
Court,
Awesome.
Court, it's been so long since our last podcast.
Yes.
Would
Like, how long has it been, Till? How long has it
how
been?
long would you say it's been?
I think since February.
That's probably about right.
10
It's
months.
it's been 5 months
5 months? Okay,
since our
well,
last podcast.
that's not too bad.
What do you think our last podcast was about?
Probably about, Palworld. Or no,
So
Palworld was last year.
no, Palworld was
Palworld
this year
or this year?
because
Okay, so it came out in
I
January.
listened to our podcast. So it's not this podcast, by the way, that I'm about to mention. I listened to our
Okay.
podcast talking about the games of 2024 and what we would predict could be game of the year. So
Oh, yes,
Palworld
yes,
was on
yes.
that list.
Okay. Lol.
Crazy.
Now I'm like,
Okay.
will it?
I was listening to us talking about some games. I'm like, oh my god, this was a year ago. Um, no, you actually weren't on the podcast that the last podcast was. It was actually
Oh,
Jordan that was on with me.
was it the, one of the award things or something?
No, it was a spoiler cast for Fallout Season 1.
Oh,
That's how
shit.
long ago it was.
Yeah, we still have to do our what's it?
The Last of
The
Us.
Last of Us
It
one.
it's coming out. Is it coming out this year, Season 2?
I believe so.
We
I
will
think.
have we will I'm gonna try to get more aggressive about getting episodes of this podcast going. So I'm gonna see like who's available. I know it's like usually been me and you, but I'm gonna see if I can get some more people on board to so we can get some stuff going. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have the Last of Us conversation. I'm going to say Matt, who hasn't been in content for like years, it's
Yeah, I was gonna
probably
like.
he has
It's
watched
been a
the
while.
show. I will get his thoughts, but I doubt that he's going to be available to do the podcast.
Okay.
He's I here's the thing. I asked him about the Game Awards, so we're going to be reacting to the Game Awards December 12th at I think it's like 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Um,
Yeah.
and I asked him if he wanted to join us, knowing that he's probably going to say no because he's busy.
Yeah.
His response wasn't that he was busy, so I don't know if he actually is busy or not. He
Oh.
said, I'll pull up his exact quotes.
Okay.
He said, nah, the Game Awards are wank.
Oh, what happened to
So,
my webcam?
it does this when I switch on Discord. Should come back. There we go.
I'm back.
Nope.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on. Let me fix this. Yeah, I don't know why it does this. OBS doesn't like Discord for some reason. But yeah, we're back. Yeah, speaking of Game Awards, I mean, it's happening again soon. We got some. We got the nominations announced. I only found out about them a couple days ago, like when I was able, or was it yesterday? No, it was.
Uh,
It was on Thursday. Um,
yeah.
because yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at them. I don't know if you have.
No. I'm kind of like, should I leave it for a surprise, or because I do need to make my predictions though, so I do need
Mhm.
to find my gaming notebook that I write every gaming thing in.
Sure.
Wait,
Just
but
do you want
my Moogle.
Oh my God, what?
It's my Moogle.
What
It's from
is
Final
that?
Fantasy. It's from Final
Oh,
Fantasy.
okay.
Yeah, he even has like a little like pouch, like, and then I could
Okay.
just like put that right in there, right in there.
Great.
I know. And he's just like chilling in my drawer.
Did you see
Um,
Pokemon celebrating the gold and silver anniversary with like plushes
yeah.
of shiny Ho-Oh and Lugia?
Oh my God, is it in Japan? Because I'm going to Japan in January.
It was in Japan when I originally looked at it, but it looks like the regular Pokemon centers are selling it. So you could
Okay,
probably order it from the US Pokemon Center and have it shipped.
I spent way too much money on Pokemon Center for Pokemon
Oh,
cards,
really? Oh,
and
for
I'm just
Pokemon
like,
cards, yeah.
yeah. Where is my notebook?
I
Okay,
saw
well, I don't have. Okay,
I
I
saw a
don't know where
question
it is
or I
right now.
heard a question recently on a podcast. I just posted this to social media.
Okay.
Just to see what kind of responses I could get. Someone posed the question: which version of Pikachu is in Smash Bros? Because I never really thought about that.
What do you like in from the anime or the game?
That's exactly. Is it the anime? Is it the game? And if it's the game, like which version of game Pikachu is it? Like, is this Ash's Pikachu? Is this Red's Pikachu? Is this Detective Pikachu? Is this like, like which version of Pikachu are we playing as in Smash Bros?
Do we have an answer?
I don't think anybody's ever really asked that. Like, I never thought about it.
Oh,
I can
I
look it
feel
up.
like it would be
Which Pikachu?
Red's Pikachu from Gold and Silver because he wasn't so fat in that one.
Oh, that's a good point.
But
I was
like
gonna be like,
in Red
not
and
red,
Blue,
not red.
Red and Blue, he was like, "Rah." He's
Yeah,
like, I'm Snorlax's cousin.
that's a
Like,
good point.
you know? I'm like, he lost some weight.
Um, yeah, I don't. I'm doing a Google search. It doesn't seem like it's coming up.
It doesn't. Oh
Not
shit.
even not even the Google Gemini AI has an answer. So
Oh my god. Not the Gemini. Okay. Well, I can't find my notebook right now, so I'll look for it later.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So probably not doing the nominees then, because you need to be able to write them down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to bring up what we thought a year ago. We were
Okay.
predicting that, like, of all the games that we knew were coming out this year, we thought that Final Fantasy
Rebirth?
7 Rebirth would be the game of the year. Now we have some nominees here, so we're gonna look
They
at
won a lot of awards in the joystick award ceremony thing.
when
So I
was
feel
that?
like uh 2 days ago,
Shoot, okay, didn't know
the
that.
joystick awards. I know I was actually surprised that we didn't do anything for it, but I was also working.
Yeah, because like
So
2 days ago was also the mix, which is from like the guys at like Gorilla Collective and stuff. They were doing an indie showcase that I didn't know
okay.
about, and I was working at the time, so I'm like, well, I can't do a live reaction, so I reacted to that before I did my game of the year picks. So
I found
um
my book. I found my book.
okay, so we might be doing that this podcast then.
Yeah.
Um, Game of the Year, though, these are the nominations. We actually have 6 options here. And one of them is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So it looks like
Yes.
we might predict correctly if it wins. So
I will
let's see.
predict correctly.
Court and I
uh
are a little competitive here.
yeah, just a little bit.
Um, I'll say my pick after yours, but these are the nominees. First is Astrobot. Actually, a lot of these are recent games. I think I mean they're all this year, but some of them are like very recent. So first is Astrobot. That's PlayStation's new family friendly 3D platformer that celebrates
Y-
the history of PlayStation. There's Balatro, the card game that everybody's playing. If it's not Pokemon TCG, whatever it's called, they're playing Balatro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got Black Myth Wukong, the game, the anti woke game that everybody loves, apparently. And we got the DLC for Elden Ring.
Oh my god.
This one's the controversial topic this year for the Game Awards. Last year it was how there was two indie categories and barely any of the games were indie games. This year it's should DLC be Game of the Year. So that will be, I mean, we can have that conversation today. Next is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So that was our prediction last year for what could win Game of the Year this year. And then we have Metaphor Refantasio. This is
I want to play that.
yeah, apparently it's really good.
It's not on Switch though. I kind of would want it for Switch.
Really? Because it feels like a mobile game, or
No, I would. I'm just
like
like
handheld?
thinking of if traveling, I would
Mm-hmm.
need like something to play for a 13-hour plane ride. So I'm just like, oh, it'd be great. And then, it's kind of like
Yeah.
Persona. I
Good
hate the
point.
fact that I miss playing Persona and it pisses me off so much. It's
Me-
like, it's, it's
well,
just
now
a good game
you can get Metaphor.
if it's for Switch, but it's not.
I'm sure at some point it will be.
It probably.
But here's the thing: it doesn't need to be. The new Switch is coming out.
Oh
That
my
could be
god.
another topic that we can have. But um, metaphors in another category for like audio. I think is actually soundtrack. And I'm like, well, I know the Persona games have great music, so I'm like, I'm sure Metaphor has some great music, and I
Thank you for
looked it up.
reminding me. I need to fucking download those songs.
I looked it up, and I'm like, what? Like, is maybe I should pick Metaphor for the soundtrack? And I looked up one song, and I'm like, I know the song. People are playing it on a TikTok. Like, there's like an animated TikTok I find hilarious with the
What?
song, where like some guys just going ham, just like I don't know if he's like it's an actual language or not, but he's like sing rapping the song, and it's
I need to
crazy.
see this. Oh my
I'm
god.
sure we won't. I'll try to find the thing. Actually, I think I posted it on your Discord.
The song?
Yeah, yeah. Or it was like an animated clip.
Is it
Like
music to share?
no, I think it was in gaming. Yeah, I have it in gaming here. I'll play it for. I don't think we're gonna get in trouble playing video game music. Probably in trouble playing the animation, but that's YouTube's
Oh,
problem. We don't have to worry about the audio
but can
podcast for
I
that.
will I be able to hear it though? Is it the one with the three cartoons?
Yeah,
Pragus Migdus?
yeah. I
Migdingus?
mean, yeah, yeah. So,
Metaphor? Got it.
um, yeah. I mean, we can play it at the same time here. But oh, I got
Yeah.
an ad because I'm not signed in. Yeah, Pringus McDingus is the animator.
It's 34 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll play it full screen here. Do you wanna just hit play?
Wait, let me put it to 0. All
Okay.
right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I have it muted. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Just keep playing. Just keep playing.
Okay. This slaps. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love
I saw.
that.
I originally saw that on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, that's where that song's from.
Yeah, there's one. It's fucking it's Laguna battle theme Final Fantasy 8,
Hmm.
and like that one weirdly slaps, and it's just like men with a machine gun. Oh shit! Here, I'll send it to you. It's like it
Okay.
slaps, and then yeah, I'll put it into the same thing, the gaming chat in my Discord,
Okay.
and like
You have a
so
music
it, I know.
music to share.
Listen, listen. Yeah, and it's just, like I mean, there's automation to it, but if you listen to it, it's so like whenever it comes on, I'm just like, oh shit,
Oh
oh
yeah.
shit, yeah, and that's like music is so like I actually was at a indie development event, and there was a woman who she's one of the um, media music designers for video games,
Yeah.
and she was explaining like the process of like how you want to like have like really good music for certain things, and like when things change and when like because it just brings out so much emotion and so much
Hmm.
like just like everything when it comes to when you're gaming, because if you're in a
Yeah.
battle and you finally defeat the boss but then suddenly the tempo picks up and then vocals start,
Yep.
you're like, oh fuck.
Hmm.
You're like, oh no. So it's it's a good, and that's like with Persona, when that like the final boss battle music comes on, it's like the same music that you've been hearing the whole time, but it suddenly has this extra beat and different vocals, and you're like, oh shit, this is for real now. Like, oh no. So it's it makes a difference. It makes a difference.
5 months ago would have been June, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just like scrolling back to our news. Actually, it would have been we wouldn't have been covering news until the podcast before. I'm just realizing it would have been news stories since before then. I'm just looking at what we've been posting on our Discord for like news topics here.
Yeah.
Um, the one that immediately screams out to me that we should probably do a follow up on is that uh Nintendo suing Pocket Pair.
That's literally the one tab I have open. I
That's crazy.
was like, let's talk about this.
I didn't think it would
Um,
because they said like they made that announcement like because so many people were like tagging Nintendo, being like, um, like Mr. Nintendo, you should know that people are stealing your work, like the biggest
yeah,
narcs in the world. Um,
right? People on
and,
Twitter.
and that just like apparently that set Nintendo off and be like, oh, yeah, not only are we going to go after Pocket Pair, we're also going to sue like every YouTuber that in existence, and we're going to go after like a whole bunch of people. They've been on a lawsuit tear and a cease and desist tear this year. It's
Yeah,
insane to the point where
it's
I'm afraid to make any Nintendo content. By the way, like,
right. It's same.
yeah,
That's it. Like even I mean, I play Final Fantasy stuff, but it's like not Nintendo per se, you
yeah,
know. So I just like I'm like I don't want to get in trouble. But even it's interesting that with this happening now, and people like, why did it take so long? It's like generally with like legal proceedings,
mm-hmm,
things take a long ass time,
yep.
and then sometimes they can't like make things public right away, so they were probably in the process of suing them, and then everyone was like just kind of still pestering
Well,
them about, they're like, you know what, we're gonna go after everybody, why not.
I mean, there's multiple aspects of this. Yes, that is the case, but also they can't just say like we're going to go after this company for you know
Just
being
this.
a Pokemon like for like specifically these reasons. Also, this is a Japan court; things work differently there. So I mean, I'm talking out of my ass, so I know. But
Yeah, yeah.
there's so many games like it that are like, hey, we're inspired by Pokemon, and Nintendo hasn't done shit because it's like they didn't invent this genre. They like this is
No,
what people know the Pokemon company for,
the
and
biggest space for it.
yeah,
And
exactly. They're the biggest franchise in the world, but like you got to be more specific, and they got more specific. But it's
yeah.
kind of like really nefarious what they're getting them for because everybody's like, "Oh, you can't just like rip off the characters." I'm like, you can modify characters a slightly different way. Like it's
You
creative.
can't, like, how can you, like, it's literally anything you create
Hmm.
with four legs and a face and a tail. Could be anything.
It could,
You
because
know,
a lot of the characters that inspire the comparisons that people make are like they're based on actual things, right? So it's like, of course they're gonna look like the thing that they're based on off of. But there are, I will concede, there are some clear examples. It's like, well, that's just fucking Pokemon, like, and they just change something slightly. But really, at the end of the day, you change something slightly, it's enough to like argue the case, like, hey, this is, like a creative difference or whatever. It's not a complete
you
rip
don't
off of
see
your IP.
Glad. Yeah, you don't see Glad, the garbage bag company, going after Pokemon for being like, Trubbish looks like one of our bags.
Well, I don't go that far. I thought you were gonna make a comparison to like another trash company.
So I'm just like if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was Glad, I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
But
Are
there
you
are
using one
cases
of our
like
bags? You
there's
using one of our
there are
bags?
cases of like uh a lot of Mickey Mouse like characters that exist in tandem with Mickey Mouse, and Disney
Yeah,
doesn't go after them, right?
Mousehold.
So Mouse, yeah, Pokemon ripped off Mickey Mouse. Disney's not going after Pokemon.
Right.
Um, but I think yeah, like be for that specific reason, like the lawyers can be like, we can't just go after that. They're not. They're going after them for something else. They're going after them for specific game mechanics that Palworld is using. So
Yeah.
specifically, the act of having a character run out in the field and not like encountering a wild battle in the grass, right? Because every Pokemon like game or RPG does that. This is the act of you're taking your character, walking them around out in the field, and you're throwing a ball to catch a creature. That's what they trademarked during. You'll know, like, the first time they used that example was Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm pretty sure Palworld was being developed before they filed that trademark. So
Oh, interesting.
I feel like Pocket Pair has a case here. But that said, this is Japan Court.
Yeah.
This is the biggest media franchise in the world, with one of the biggest video game companies in the world going after this small independent company. So I don't know how that's gonna go, and I am concerned for Pocket Pair.
Yeah, and
Mm.
I think like Pocket Pair is not as big to be able to with even, or
Yeah.
like I don't know, like when it comes to legal fees and being able to fight something like that, it's
Hmm.
like you're literally going against Nintendo. And like the thing that, like, where I stand is that with Pocket Pair's um whole, like, all of their games are all based off of other
Yeah,
things.
they're a rip-off
And so they're,
company. Yeah.
yeah, it's a rip-off company. And so to me, it's like I'm not really backing them on it. I'm just like, well, it was only a matter of time before you got fucking slapped.
Yeah.
So like how can I support you when your whole company structure is based off of ripping off other ideas? So it's not like Temtem,
Hmm.
which isn't big enough to get sued by Nintendo, but it's so similar, and also very well done. But yeah, it's just, but like that was like their own idea, like their own creations, and it is like different to an extent. Like it's like
Yeah.
cards instead of balls, right? But
And now
yeah.
they have Temtem something else. I forget what the game's called, where it's a completely different game.
What?
Yeah, it's a brand new Temtem game. I think it just came out. So that's what their focus is on. I think it's like Pokemon Rumble. I don't know if you've ever played that, where it's like you're just like you're playing as the Pokemon, just
Temtem
like
Swarm.
Temtem Swarm. Yeah, that just came out, right? Their
Yeah.
release date.
It came out on September 12th.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Ultimate
So
Team of
pretty
Duskirk
recent.
awaits. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
Wow.
heavily promoting
Hmm.
that. I see that advertised everywhere. Um, I'm looking for a lot of our news stuff is just layoffs. I'm not gonna touch any of that, because it's just way too much.
Yeah.
Um, there's some interesting stuff I would love to go like dive deep into. I just don't think we're gonna have the time to cover all that stuff. So, um, Yeah, is there anything specific on this list that you want to talk about?
I mean, aside from, let me open up my tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because aside from like, yeah, Nintendo suing Nintendo suing Pokemon, yeah, what? There's like, the staff of Annapurna and like Interactive, like,
That's a crazy
resigning.
one. I would love to read
So,
that.
okay, okay, actually, I should probably show you a video, because it was like, I think I sent you messages about unionization in the
Mhm.
industry and why they shouldn't. And I feel like I should have given this to you beforehand,
I
to be
know
like,
those
you should
videos.
watch this part.
I know those are.
It's like it's the GDC. So it's like,
Yeah.
and like, and she does explain like why it's bad, but at the same time I was like, and I think I even made a forum post about it because it was like for the class, where I was like, you wouldn't have to be dealing with this if you guys did the right thing to begin with. And the fact that it's the reason why we should be unionizing and should be is because there's no sense of security in the job, and like just
Yeah.
all this bullshit that kind of happens. So yeah, like it's going to cost you a lot more because you didn't try to prevent it to begin with. So it was like this whole thing, and it really interesting to
So
see
this was
everyone else's
your
posts.
response to that video,
Yeah, because
or?
we have to, like, in the course we have to kind of watch a video, and then we have to write down like what we found was interesting. And almost everyone in the class had
Mhm.
something to say about unionization.
Yeah.
They were like, what? Like, she
People
doesn't
aren't.
want unionization? Yeah,
This information's out there. Like, people aren't dumb now. Like, it's just like
right.
these tactics. I mean, that's what this video is. It's just tactics to suppress people wanting to unionize. Be like, it's the same sort of aspect in like any politics, is just like having a smear campaign against an idea that negatively affects you. And
Yeah,
so yeah, these are from like union busting firms and companies trying to squash and say like, this is why this is bad. And there's examples of it being bad, but it's usually from bad actors that aren't like legitimately uh looking to be a real union. They're like a union in name for their own personal benefits.
yeah. It
And
seems
that's
like
what you got
more
to
of
be
a hit
watch out for.
onto, yeah, it seems to be more of a hit on the company, that they're
Hmm.
like, oh, it costs the company so much more money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, it's about the workers.
Yeah.
It's about the people
Hmm.
that are working for you, and this is
Yeah.
why this is happening. But you're just more about like the stakeholders and the stocks and the money that the company's making, and not about the people that actually truly matter, that are the engine of all
Yeah.
these companies. The way to kind of look at it, right? So yeah, that's my piece
I
on that.
mean, here's the benefit on what. Sorry about your camera. I've been looking through articles, um, and I got to figure out what causes that. But I mean, here's the benefit on what unions, what you can get for unions. Okay, there's multiple strikes happening right now. There's
Yeah,
the SAG after strike. So voice actors, I think this is still going on. Um,
yeah,
yeah, they're striking on the use of AI to replace their voices right now. That's the big one that's happening. There's Don't Nod is on strike. So don't nod workers,
yeah,
or they went on strike. I don't think they're still striking, but on November 8th, so that was recently. There's a whole story about like uh a toxic work environment at Don't Nod, to the point where I didn't read the full page, but it's like it's lengthy and there's a lot to it. But I know like one of the aspects of it is there's someone higher up, like I guess they determined that, who's subtly putting in like dog whistles for like Nazi propaganda and stuff hidden in the code in their games. So there's like someone who, I mean, they make very progressive games, the whole developer as a whole. Somebody
yeah.
working there does not agree with what they're doing, and they're you know doing all this stuff, and everybody higher up is just like trying to be like, hey, forget it, just do your job. And you know clearly a
And they're
part of
like,
this.
oh,
So um there's I'm tempted to like put the article in the description of the video. I know we have it saved on Discord, because again, it's been a while and I'm probably talking, I'm not I haven't read through everything, so read it, on
Yeah.
your own to determine that stuff. But also Bethesda, Doom, Elder Scrolls Follow devs strike in protest of parent company Microsoft. They're the one of the few developers who are unionized within Microsoft. So, um, I mean, they have the ability to do that now because of unions. So,
Yep. Yep.
just saying, just for better work environments, better, um, uh, treatment in the work environment. I mean,
Yep.
um, I think there's also stories of like some developers at Ubisoft, I think in France, um, who are striking as well. I mean, Ubisoft has no shortage of stories about bad work environments as well. Um, so hopefully this is the start of big change. I mean, we've seen just like the past couple years, just the most depressing news in the gaming industry, and I would love to just see that change and just be like workers getting what they deserve.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah.
think it was a really big turn of events when prior to the pandemic,
Hmm.
like just like because I remember again, like a part of me wishes that I had gotten into the industry a lot sooner, but at the same time, like the work conditions were still pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because there were multiple times that I would have, customers that would come into the store and they, oh yeah, I work for this big company. It's like, oh, that must be great. They're like, yeah, not really. Like, if my contract ends, I don't know if I'll have a job. There was just such a lack of security. And to me, someone who works hourly knows where I'm getting my hours, knows my paycheck coming in, and
Yeah.
to have that sense where it could just end and stop, and
Yeah.
like to just and then to be cut off, and then what, I have to look for another job and hope that I like it sucks to apply and to try to look for other jobs. So the fact that you would have to do that multiple times, like every year,
Hmm.
or because I've all of my jobs have lasted, you know fucking 5 years. And so when the pandemic hit and they had the huge hiring of everyone, and then it's like more and more people realize how bad the conditions really were.
Yeah.
And then now for it to like start to come down because the pandemic's pretty much over, and everything's going back to normal, and that they're like, oh, we don't need all these people, and then they're cutting people off. People are like, well, no, this isn't fair. Like, that's not right
Hmm.
when you guys are making this much money. And then now everything's kind of coming to light. And now, yeah, of course there's going to be unionization because people want security. They
Yeah.
want that. That's all they want. That's all we want.
Mhm. Exactly.
So
Any
is that
other?
too much to ask for?
I don't think it's a lot to ask for.
Yeah.
Any other topics from the Discord? Because went through everything pretty
Uh,
much. I think is crucial.
yeah. Right. Yeah. Not. I was gonna say, I'm like, do you want me to do like we want to talk about the game awards and our predictions and my predictions and as I write them
Yeah,
down?
I would love
All
to.
right.
I just remembered actually the Annapurna one. Just the short of it is that they all quit.
Yeah. They were like,
This
fuck this. Goodbye.
it's insane. Like they're it's like a whole media and interactive company, Annapurna. So they do like movies and everything as well. The people on the video game side are basically like, hey, we want a dedicated like gaming division. Like they publish games and stuff for other developers and things like that. They had contracts and stuff lined up as well. Um, and they're like, hey, can we be like a legitimate like gaming company? And
Yeah.
there's some stipulations there what they're asking for, and just the management or like the big film side of things is just like no, just like
No.
no conversation at all, just like no, we're not going to do any of that. So everybody working on that side of the company just went, all right, we're going to leave. So they just all quit. It's insane. So um yeah,
Yep.
I want to read through all that, but we don't have time, so we're
Yep.
gonna that's just the short of it. I have a question for you
What?
before we get into the game award stuff. We don't play, like me and you personally don't play a lot of games that come out as they come out, like brand new games.
No,
I
because we
I
have
think
full-time jobs.
we have full-time jobs, and I have a huge backlog, personally.
Yes.
So, I'm usually playing older stuff I already own, and I've been getting a lot into retro games and stuff recently too. But that just begs the question: a lot of these games that are in the Game Awards categories, we don't know personally because we haven't. I'm sure collectively across Spawn Trap, we all might have like a significant portion of what games are talked about this year. But individually, I don't think we really can say like, oh, this is. I know from experience this game is better than this one or whatever for this category. Um,
Yeah.
so my question is, let's make our own game of the year. What
Ooh,
what did you play this year that is your game of the year? Because I don't even know. I have to like look back at what I played. Actually, I think I know.
mouth washing.
Mouthwashing.
Yeah.
I still don't know what
It
that
was
game is. I know the title. I've seen people talk about it,
it's a
but
scary game,
okay,
but it's like it's fantastic.
okay.
I was hooked on it, like, and you can play through it in like 3 hours, I think. So I highly would recommend playing it. It basically is about a space crew that
Hmm.
deliver things, and they don't know what they're delivering, and suddenly their spaceship crashes into a meteor, and they are rationing their stuff. They are trying to get signals out to their home base to get rescued and things, and it's just about this team slowly becoming crazy in like that kind of in work environment. And it's like an indie game, and the guy apparently makes a bunch of really great games like that, and this was my first one, and it's just, and they find out that they're delivering mouthwash, and they're like, and it's just like, what, why, and it just progressively gets crazier and crazier. It's just a really great game, and I played that, and I was like, this is probably one of the best games that I've played, and just like sat
As-
right through and beat.
Aside from horror, what kind of like game genre is it? Like the gameplay style?
Like sci-fi, or it was like first person
Okay.
walking, and then like kind of puzzles, like, when you get something, you have to figure out a code, and you have to type in the
Yeah.
code and open up this and activates this, and then there's a few spots where something's after you, and you have to like know what triggers it, where to kind of hide, or how to avoid it, I guess. um but the story is really great, and it's like a psychological sci-fi game, indie game.
Want to know what I played this year? I can give you the list.
Donkey
There,
Kong.
there,
Donkey Kong,
there might
Donkey Kong,
be.
Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong, Donkey
I
Kong.
can't list all the Donkey Kong games because I don't have separate playlists for all of them, but there are
Yep.
some here. So I think I started the year with Spider-Man 2. We played Palworld for a little bit. I have
Yep.
4 videos on Palworld. Horizon Zero Dawn DLC I've played. That's really old. Mario versus Donkey Kong, so that's a new one. So that's the Game Boy Advance remake for the Switch. Then I started Horizon Forbidden West. I'm still playing that. I'm almost finished it. Uh, I played all the Donkey Konga games. Don't play
Yep.
those.
Don't play those.
Don't play them.
Donkey Konga.
Yeah. We finished Baldur's Gate 3 this year. That was fantastic. We played the PC port to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, known as Ship
Yep.
of Harkinian. We did a co-op
Yep.
fork of that game, and that was a lot of fun.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
I finally played Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh my, I remember watching you do
Yeah.
that one boss battle, and I was like, just don't get hit. And you're like, I'm trying.
The other new game I played was Senua Saga Hellblade 2. That was fantastic.
Nice.
Um, I played through Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 3 with Icy Arrow. We played co-op. Some more Donkey Kong games. Don't need to talk about. Um, the other new game I played was The Plucky Squire, which is that storybook game. You're like a 2D storybook, and then the character pops out of the storybook, and suddenly a 3D platformer.
Okay.
That game is very unique and charming. I think it's in one of the Game Awards categories, but it's not anywhere near a Game of the Year game. Um,
Okay.
and I finally played Luigi's Mansion. We actually did talk about it in the podcast from a year ago because Luigi's Mansion 2 HD was released this year. And so we were talking about that as one of the games coming out. Um I understand why people like it. I don't understand why people are like so like hyped about this game all the time. Like this is their favorite game ever. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then another new. I think this is a new game. I found out about it as I was looking for Halloween games. Pumpkin Jack, which is just a
Oh,
surprise. It's like an old school 3D action platformer. Um, that's very like Halloween. Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibes. Um, and uh, it was really fun actually. I really enjoyed it. So that game surprised me. So check out Pumpkin Jack. I know it was free for Amazon Prime members a while ago. So
yeah.
if you just click in through and claim all the games that you have, you might own it already. So definitely check it out. I bought it before I knew I was getting it for free. So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, well, I already bought it. Um, but I would say of those games, and there's also Batman Arkham City I started. I haven't finished it. Of those games, I would say my game of the year is probably Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay.
Um,
It didn't come out this year though.
no, it
But
was
just based on like what you've played.
yeah, just based on what I played. Like if I'm going for like what's my personal game of the year that I played, it would be Horizon Forbidden West. I think it came out 2 years ago. Can't
Okay.
remember. Um, this game is fantastic. There was a lot of haters when it came out because this
It
is
was
when
similar
people
to the first
started
one.
making like annoying arguments main character isn't hot enough. She doesn't smile, she doesn't wear makeup, and she's not it
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But like
Lame.
you ignore those voices and actually play the fucking game, which is a very anti capitalist game.
Yeah.
It's a not so subtle political game, but I feel like the people who were complaining about main character is too hot would not see this as a political game. They'd be like,
Wow.
"Oh, there's no
Too
hidden
hot.
messaging here. They're just fighting giant robots." This is a very smart game, and it's a very content rich game, and it's long. There's a lot of side stuff to do. I the last time I played, I found a town in a mountain that I never visited, and there was just a new side quest that like with a new character that introduced himself. I'm like, how the hell did I miss this? Um, so yeah, that's
Wait
my
a
game of the year.
minute. Who are you?
Exactly. So that's my personal game of the
Um,
year.
well, yeah, mine would be mouthwashing for indie, and then for like all time,
Hmm.
fucking Cyberpunk.
Oh
Fucking
yeah,
love
we're like
Cyberpunk. Like
yeah.
Phantom Liberty came out, still such a great game.
Hmm.
I just literally crack open a beer, hop into Night City, and kill some shit. And I go over the same fucking quests over and over and over again, and I just enjoy every second of it. I try to kill things differently. It's just like the just being immersed in the city and like walking around is like I just want to be there. Like it feels like I'm there. I just love that game so much. Just
um,
like I don't need to leave my apartment.
a message I see. We're good.
Okay.
Let's get into game of the year talk.
Okay.
This
So
again,
I
this is
put
the category here. So I don't know what you're gonna
game of
pick
the
up.
year. I said Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Duh. And then for game direction, I would say
Well,
also Final
let's
Fantasy
start with
Rebirth.
just game of the year here because I'll let you. I'm not gonna say all my picks for everything.
Okay.
Um,
I'm picking them as I'm clicking them and then I'm writing them down.
oh, good. Yeah, no, that's perfect. But
Yeah.
let's start with the game of the year here because I wanna say so. Your pick is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's what I had also assumed last year. I'm gonna stray from the pack here, and I'm
Oh.
probably crazy for doing this.
You're gonna say the Black Myth, aren't you?
Hell no. I have a vendetta against this company. I think they can go to hell.
Oh
So,
shit. Game
um,
Science?
Yeah, fuck them. So I'm gonna, even though it's probably gonna win, it's like there's a good chance it could win.
No,
Um, I'm
absolutely not.
gonna, I'm gonna stray from the pack here and go wildly out of the box and say Astrobot.
Let's
Astrobot's my
go.
game of the year.
Let's go.
That's my game of the year pick.
Nice. Um,
All right, let's
yeah,
go
I don't.
here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna be like about Black Myth. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna win. I'm like, it was a shorter game. It's not that like honestly, Final Fantasy Rebirth is like everything all you've ever wanted into like anything ever. It's the best thing. So it's obviously gonna win.
I think the
This thing.
people who are raving about this game are not the ones voting on it.
Black Myth.
There is a portion of these votes that are from the people who are signing into thegameawards.com and clicking sign in to vote, right?
Yeah.
But that's a small percentage of the votes. There's actual industry people who are voting on these games. And while I know that a lot of them love Black Myth, I think they're more likely playing Balatro. Like they're gonna be picking Balatro or the
Let's
Elden Ring
go.
DLC. There's a reason why the Elden Ring DLC is uh, a nomination for Game of the Year. So it just tells you
I'm gonna
something.
be pissed. But then a part of me is like, well,
Well, do
no,
you want to have
Rebirth
that
isn't
conversation?
DLC, but
Like, what do you actually think of this? Because I have mixed feelings.
I mean, I don't know. It's DLC. I'm just like, why?
Yeah. Well, the reason why is because the
If they
people
were
who
gonna make
were
such a big DLC, just make another fucking game and just complete it. How about?
but if they call so the argument is if they called the DLC a new game and it wasn't DLC, the exact same content, do you think it feels qualified to be in this category still?
Still no.
Still no. Okay.
Because it'd be Elden Ring 2.
But sure, but
I
like
don't know.
let's just say
But then
this
there's
is
like
Elden Ring
then there's like
2.
Final Fantasy Rebirth, so I'm just like it's
Okay.
still the same Final Fantasy 7. But then that's like another way to
Yeah.
look at it too. Like with
Yep.
them splitting up Final Fantasy 7, is it technically DLC or they just made it into a new game and they're splitting it that way? But
Yeah.
depending on like the content that's involved, yeah. So I don't know. I haven't played
I
Elden Ring. I don't know. Like I know you can put a lot of hours into it. I haven't played the DLC for that
mhm.
matter either, but I know it's great, and I know a lot of people talk how good it is. So I'm
So
surprised fucking Warhammer isn't in there.
yeah, I mean we talked about that last year too. Like that was going to be a possibility, but I think the I've heard arguments on both sides and I can understand the argument on both sides. I actually follow someone who outright said, "Hey, I'm one of the people who nominated this DLC and here's the reasons for it." Um so the people who were tasked with nominations felt that the category and the description given for like game of the year, and this is their personal feelings, like this is my game of the year. It's I know it's
Yeah.
DLC, but it's a full ass game, and you know it's the best thing I've played. So like, why shouldn't it be on this list, right? And I can get that, and I can understand that. The other argument is like, hey, this is a specific category. This should be its own category. Like, why isn't this its own category? And I had the feeling last year when we were doing the reactions to the game awards last year on the indie categories and how there was a controversy there with hey, these games that are nominated in two different indie categories are not indie games. There should be there should be meaning in the category fields, but Jeff just says like, hey, these are the categories, this is the description, nominate this stuff, and then he
Yeah.
doesn't touch it. Like that's the thing. So like if enough of the people in the nominating process said, hey, Elden Ring DLC, he's like, all right, like even if he doesn't agree with it, it's like, all right, that's what's being nominated, right? That's his stipulations for the game awards. um and this isn't an industry an award show. We've talked about this several times. If you're looking for that and looking for like specific, hey, like there should be meaning for all this stuff and everything. There should be more time. There should be more time for these awards and speeches. There should be more categories for different things. What you're looking for is the Dice Awards or the Joystick Awards or like the other things
Yeah.
that we've mentioned. Those awards exist. This is just a giant commercial. This is Jeff saying
Yeah.
like, hey, I love gaming. I want to celebrate gaming. To do that, I need money. Let's have like a
I
three
need
hour.
money.
Yeah, we need money. Let's have a 3 hour commercial fest. And obviously, there's not going to be enough time to put in everything that people are asking for, because we need the commercials. So these are the rules he sets, and this is what's given to him. So this is what they have to work with. And then the voting process is the same. The people that he picked from the industry to vote on these games are going to vote the way that they vote, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't agree with the pick either. I don't think DLC should be nominated for Game of the Year. I understand why it's there, and I can understand the reasoning for putting it in there. But the fact is, it's in there now, and you know, I don't think you should be upset if something won, something got snubbed or anything, because
Yeah.
this isn't a serious show. This is just
Exactly. Yeah,
all of
exactly.
these things that were picked are all amazing in their own way. There's a reason why they're all being nominated. Just having any one of them, like having them here, is a good thing. They're being recognized, right? So
Yeah.
great year for games. Any thoughts on that before we continue?
No, you're good. It's
What
like
do you have?
rant over.
Yeah. What do we have for best game direction? Or what do you have?
Final Fantasy Rebirth.
I'll
Just
be
because they're
honest. I forget what all my picks are, so I'm not even gonna say.
okay. Yeah, I said Final Fantasy Rebirth just because it's like the direction that they're taking from
Mhm.
the original, and I feel like it's just been so great. Like for them to take an original game and then to be going where they're going with it,
Mhm.
I'm so excited for the next one. So I picked that one.
That makes sense. I can see that. I don't remember what I picked.
Okay.
You'll find out live on December 12th when we're
Yep.
reacting to this stuff. I'll try to keep track of who of what won. So if you're showing up late, we can try to keep score.
Okay.
Um, best narrative.
I put I wanted to not vote for Final Fantasy VII again, so I put Like a Dragon
I can see
because I
that.
was
I don't know
yeah.
anything about the Yakuza world, so I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, I was like a dragon, let's go.
I think I picked Hellblade. That was the only game I played, and I thought the game was really well written. So,
Yeah.
so. Best art direction.
Um, I think art direction
I should read the
um
descriptions for these
I
as
put
well.
outstanding for technical
Even though,
artistic.
like,
I feel
again,
like metaphor for sure.
some of the games nominated and that win don't follow the description, so keep that in mind. But you said did you say metaphor?
Yeah, metaphor because it's just the way like those games in general, the way it's designed, and I feel like they really upped their game on this one. So I was like, I'll vote for it.
I
But
think I
then
picked.
I'm biased in a lot of them too because I'm just like I just like this game.
I mean, I am too, but um, I think I picked Neva.
Neva. Okay, fine.
Best score and music.
I put metaphor and or I voted. I think I voted for seven. But I also put metaphor because like Atlas games always have really great music. But I
Yeah.
know that Final Fantasy Rebirth won for their music in the
Mhm.
Joystick Awards, and they did really have great music in that one, especially with the dog. When the dog like guides you, and it's like
Yeah.
you're just like, oh shit, where are we going? And you're just like, this fucking song slaps.
I think I picked Metaphor because of the song that we listened to earlier. But
Yeah, yeah,
I know, like, I was like, oh, it's got to be Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy music, people know Final Fantasy music, right? But I'm like,
yeah.
but I don't know, like, these other games, if they have great music or not. I don't know what their soundtrack is. I'm like, oh wait, Metaphor's the Persona like
Silent Hill
game.
2.
Yeah. Well, it could be, yeah, it could be like the score for the game, like the sound and everything.
Yeah.
But Metaphor, I'm like, oh, that's a Persona like game. Persona also has really great music. So let me look up the music for this, and that's when I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, so this might win. uh, What we got here? Best audio design.
Um, best audio design. I put 7 as well because I'm biased, and I was like, I didn't play. I'm like Call of Duty.
I think I put Hellblade for this as well.
Yeah, I know Hellblade. Like they do have really like good,
Hmm.
you know. Yeah.
The whole thing. I mean, there's a reason why people are like play this game with headphones. So,
Yes.
we got best performance.
I put Brianna White. She is the voice of Aerith
That makes sense.
in Final Fantasy. And she also won for Joystick Awards. So I'm like, she's on a roll. Let's go.
You've you played the new Life is Strange game, right? Or started
Um,
it?
I've started it. Yes.
Yeah. So, um, not as voice acting
Yeah.
didn't stand out for you there.
No.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I don't think that's gonna like no offense, but like I don't think that's gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Star Wars. I've only seen a few things of like for voice acting in the Star Wars game, so I'm like, I don't know. Silent Hill, I know nothing about like the voice acting there. I only again I'm biased because I only know Hellblade and I have watched quite a bit of Final Fantasy stuff, so I know I'm like those two are probably gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, innovation and accessibility. This is one that I feel like I should look into every year to like understand what kind of advancements in like accessibility are happening within games. Um, but
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I know that Dragon Age, the Veilguard has a mode to just experience the game without having to worry about dying and stuff like that. Other than that, I really don't know the accessibility options for any of these games.
Neither do I. I think I put Dragon Age because I was like, let's go, friends.
Okay.
And it's
Uh,
like EA, and I know like EA,
yeah.
I think really does kind of focus on that for them.
Yeah, a lot of
I
their games
believe,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, why not?
Games for impact, a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. See, these are for the new games that get nominated for this category. I don't know going into it. I play these games eventually later on, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great game for like the pro-social message or whatever.
Yeah,
But like going in, I'm like, I have no idea. I played Hellblade. That's it. I've heard things about some of these other games, but I don't know fully.
yeah. I put Life is Strange because like they're always big on. They were they were one of the first games that was really pro, like not like woke per se, but just kind of making those changes and
Yeah.
like with their storyline and narrative and everything, and like even like with the choices that you can choose to be with a girl, and I was like, oh my god, like, and I can kiss her on screen too, ooh, ooh. And it's like, so I kind of was, for me they were like the first game that kind of really allowed that, and was really successful. So
What's the well, I don't know if the spoils the story, but like what's the sort of messaging and stuff in double exposure? Or you're not
I
that
don't.
far into it?
I'm not that far. Yeah, I just
Okay.
like one girl got shot, and now I'm figuring it out. But then I'm also hitting on the waitress, the bartender girl, and that's my love interest apparently.
I think I showed up in your stream when you were doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. I don't remember what my pick was. Best ongoing. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Um I have beef with this category and I think there's a controversial pick in here. But
Final Fantasy Online all the way. Duh.
really, okay.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Online. They just came out with Dawn Trail. It's been great, loving it.
Okay.
But then but that's just me. Like
I
because
think that
again, and they also have like such a great company culture
yeah.
and like community and stuff like that. So I'm just like, let's go, Final Fantasy.
So, aside from the opposite company culture in Bungie, because fuck Bungie,
Which
Um,
is Destiny, right?
yeah, that's Destiny. They
Yeah.
did release a DLC which was very well received and seems like listen to community feedback. I don't play Destiny, I'm not part of that community, so I
Oh,
don't know for sure. I think my vote went to Fortnite because they're doing a lot of stuff this year. Um, and it seems like people like it, and so there's a lot of content being added to that game.
yeah. I mean, like they need to make their money somehow, right?
My issue is with Helldivers 2. I understand why it was included in this list. Um,
Oh.
when it
Oh, because the
launched,
whole
when it launched, I mean, this would have been a good pick for this category because people loved it and like this is great community support. This game's amazing, multiplayer's amazing. Developers are listening to us and they're adding content and everything's super positive. People love this game. Then Big Brother PlayStation stepped in and said, "Hey, we're
we can
going
make money.
to." Not that I really have an issue with this because I just sign in my PlayStation account anywhere, but they're like, we're going to require a PlayStation account to play this game now. You have to sign into a PlayStation account, otherwise you can't play this game. And people got pissed. And then
Yes, I remember that.
PlayStation then reversed their decision, said, "All right, fine." Because people just like quit the game, they started leaving negative reviews. They're like asking for refunds, and it was just a bad look on PlayStation's end. Granted,
Yeah.
PlayStation's still pushing with this direction with all of their other games, and keep in mind, Helldivers is pretty much the only multiplayer PlayStation game aside from Concord, rest in peace. That game doesn't exist anymore.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
So all of their games are single player games that should not require a PlayStation account to sign in and play.
Yeah.
That said, Helldivers 2, their one multiplayer game, they've conceded and said, all right, fine, you don't need to sign in and play the game. Please stop asking for refunds. Please stop leaving negative reviews. Please keep playing this game. But at the same time, the reason why a lot of people were upset is because PlayStation accounts um, aren't a thing in a lot of regions that the game was being sold in. So they're like, hey, if we require a PlayStation account, I literally cannot play this game because I cannot sign up for a PlayStation account. Sony's solution to that is we're going to delist the game. So people in those regions could not purchase the game anymore or ask for a refund for that matter. Um, so when they said they're reversing their decision, they did not reverse the decision to relist those games in those regions. All those players still cannot purchase and play that game. So a lot of people are still upset with Sony for that reason. I think
Yeah.
the most notable advocate for that is Pirate Software on Twitch, saying like he's never going to play another PlayStation game because of this reason, and he was a
Yeah.
big Helldivers fan. I think that reason alone, this game should not have been nominated.
Right?
That's just me.
That I
If it
mean,
if it
I
wins,
didn't
I
even
think that's a
see it.
big
I was
slap
just
at
like,
yeah. I think it's a big slap at the face if that game wins, but I can understand why it was nominated. Like the people who, because there's a lot of people that Jeff picks for nominations and votes, that would absolutely love Helldivers, like the people in his sphere and um that he knows within the industry who thinks would be a good barometer of what can be categorized in these different categories, right?
yeah.
So I won't be surprised if it won. I just think it'd be a big slap in the face and, kind of an insult if it did win because that kind of like just goes against the entire purpose of this category.
So I vote for Final Fantasy Online.
And I vote for Fortnite. I never want to vote for Fortnite, but I voted for Fortnite.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right, best community support. Helldivers 2 is in here too.
Final
This is the same
Fantasy.
thing.
Yeah, I was like, lols, like, no.
I picked Baldur's Gate 3.
I was going to, but I have to stay loyal.
The reason is because they added a lot. I mean, I don't think they're doing anything
They-
else now,
no,
but
that was why I was like, I was like, oh, Mike, but they stopped. But they were pretty good with their patches and the updates and
yeah, they
feedback
added
and
a
stuff.
lot of
So,
updates this year before they're like, all right, we're done, we're moving on. But They did add a lot to that game that a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is like positive additions to the game that we've been asking for. Thank you." They added
Yeah.
mod support as well, so it's cool. Best independent game. This was the controversial one last year. And again, we
Yeah.
have games published by Devolver Digital and Annapurna Interactive. So same sort of situation this year.
I put Bul Bulletro
I
because
don't
it was in Game
remember.
of the Year. So I was like,
Yeah,
if it doesn't win Game of the Year, then it's probably gonna win Independent.
sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I might have picked that as well. I don't remember because this is a tough category, and I can see all of these games winning.
Yeah.
So similarly, best debut indie game.
I put Plucky Squire.
That is a great game.
And
And
based on what you've said on it, I believe
mhm,
you. So
yep, I just don't know if it's to the caliber of Animal Well or Balatro, so I don't know.
okay.
I haven't played those games, so I don't know. But from what I've heard,
Good.
people aren't raving about Plucky Squire the way that they rave about Animal Well and Balatro. So
Oh, I never even heard about Animal Well till now.
Animal Well is Donkey's game.
What?
Yeah, it's a game that
How
he
is it
worked
his
on.
game?
He worked on it.
Doing what?
Dude, I
Criticizing it?
no, he's part of the development process. I don't know fully what
Huh.
he's like contributed to the game, but it's his game. He's the one out there promoting it and everything. His voice is in the trailer, saying like this is the. There was a trailer for it in I think a PlayStation showcase recently, saying like this is the best game ever, and he just kept I
Saying
think
that?
he kept saying like the darkness or something, like he kept saying the word darkness over and over again like a joke, just like a repeated like I'm just gonna say it over and over again,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's nonsense. um but yeah, so I don't know, I don't remember what I picked. I might have picked the Plucky Squire, I don't know.
yeah.
um Best mobile game. This is a tricky one too, I think, for me.
Um, I know the Pokemon trading card game just came out.
People
I
love it.
put Zenless Zone Zero.
I think that's a good pick as well.
Yeah, I only know that one because Jessica Negri did a cosplay for one of the characters, and I was like, "The fuck are you cosplaying now?"
Yeah,
And then I looked it up.
Hoyoverse. I got
Poyo.
all those cosplay characters.
Right.
I don't remember what my pick was, but we'll find out. Best VR AR.
I put Asgard. I have no idea any of these games except for just knowing Batman,
Hmm.
and so I put Asgard because it looked cool.
I did pick Batman because
Okay.
the controversial thing about Batman is nobody asked for this game. When it was
No,
announced, people are
I
like,
swear it.
yeah, when it was announced, people were like, why? Give us another regular Batman game, right?
Give us another Batman game. You haven't come out with another Batman game in eons. They're like, but
Yeah.
VR, and they're like, no.
But it seems like the people who are playing it really like the game. So that's the reason why I voted for it. Otherwise, I would have voted for Asgard's Wrath 2 because it seems like a lot of people really like that game as well. Um, from what I've heard, I don't know much about the game though. I don't know anything else. I know what Metal Hellsinger is. I didn't realize there was a VR version of that game until I saw
Yeah.
the nominations here. I've heard of Arizona Sunshine. Oh, this is a remake. I was gonna say like this is an old VR game. Okay, so yeah, they're remaking this game. And then I didn't realize there was a VR Metro game. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm so out of the loop on VR games.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, these two that I've heard of that people say are good. It's one of these two.
Yeah.
Best action game. I think Black Myth could win this.
Um, for action, I put Warhammer
I figured you would.
because it's such a hugely like like, such a big community. So I
Mhm.
just yeah. Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. The description is for best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat.
Yeah, and you know what? They did have like good combat,
Hmm.
you know, like just fighting and slicing and
Yeah.
dicing, you know.
I
You just
I I picked the hot one.
the hot one.
I picked
Oh, the
Stellar
Stellar
Blade.
Blade. Let's go. You're
Yeah.
like, is she wearing pants? We
No,
don't
no,
know.
it's because
What kind of cut
this
are those jeans?
first of all, this a lot of people are saying this is a really great game, and from all the trailers I've seen, the action looks like smooth and a lot of fun. Um, and some of these other games, like Call of Duty, first person shooter, Warhammer, like I could see it, Warhammer. Um, I guess Helldivers 2, it's a multiplayer shooter game. Like I don't know. I'm like honestly, I think it's gonna be Black Myth, but I'm just gonna vote Stellar Blade because I don't want to vote for Black Myth.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So yeah. Best action slash adventure.
I put Zelda.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, even though I haven't played it, I really want to, but they just like I don't know.
No, I can see Zelda winning. The problem is that it
They're good
didn't get.
games.
Yeah, no, this is a good game. People really like it, but it didn't get the stellar reviews that I was expecting
It's
when it
because
came
it's a
out.
female protagonist. That's why. No, I'm just
Obviously,
kidding.
that's why. And
Obviously,
you're literally
obviously.
making beds.
Yeah, like
Um, no, no, I just don't like compared to some of these other games. Um, I mean not Star Wars, but like some of these other
I know.
games. Um, like I don't know if it stands up to those other ones, but at the same time, more people played Echoes of Wisdom than played Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. You
Yeah,
know, so even though the people who have played this game swear by it and say it's amazing, barely anybody played it. More people played this. So I
yeah,
don't know. The people that are voting might be voting for this.
yeah. And then like I didn't vote for Silent Hill 2 because I
Yeah.
feel like it's like it is kind like I don't know, depending. Like I don't find it like super actiony. Like I'm just beating up a bunch of weird hookers
Yeah, it's
that
we.
don't have
I don't.
faces.
That's what I figured. I'm like, I don't really know why this is there. But you
And
know
like
what
the fact that
game?
the fact that he's like he sees blood on
Yeah.
the ground, he's like, "What is that?" And I'm just like, "Blood, you idiot! Like what? Like are we not looking at the same thing here?" Like, what?
Well, you know what game that did sell very well, that people did play, that reviewed very well? My boy Astrobot. That's my pick
Yeah,
right
but
there.
that would have been my second one, but I feel like Zelda just has way more kind of, you know,
Yeah,
and
broad
it's
appeal.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Next we got best RPG.
Final Fantasy 7.
I don't remember what I picked. I probably picked Final Fantasy. I don't remember. Um, best fighting game. These ones I never I like I'm not
I put Dragon
clued
Ball
in,
Z
so
just
yeah, I
because I
think
like Dragon Ball
that's
Z
well, I think that's a good pick
or
because
Dragon Ball.
I think people really like that game from what I
Yeah.
see.
All the
Um,
other ones are pretty like old.
but I'm not following anybody who's talking about these games. That's the only problem. Like
Yeah.
I don't know who's talking about Grand Blue
Yeah.
or
Even
Tekken.
Tekken 8, I was like, "Oh," but then
Tekken 8
yeah,
was one of the games that we said in last year's podcast that we saw could win a game of the year. So,
yeah.
um, it's definitely not going to be multiverses. I will guarantee
No.
that.
No.
My pick is well, I actually don't know what I actually picked on, but I want to see Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection win because that's just my bias. But also it's a huge collection of games. What sucks is the price point.
Yeah.
Why is it priced so high? But I guess it comes with a comic book, the physical copy. So I might look for that for Black
Oh
Friday
my
sales.
Yeah, right?
Um, all right, what do we got next here? Best family.
I put Astrobot.
Yeah, was this a tough decision for you? Because I think this was a tough decision for me.
No, absolutely
Okay.
not.
I don't
It's like the
remember.
only non Nintendo one,
No,
except for the
there's
Plucky
Plucky. Yeah,
Squire,
Plucky Spire.
which is Devolver. But yeah, I just like Astro again. My thing is, if Astrobot was nominated for Game of the Year, then it's
Yeah.
like part of me is like it's probably gonna win its like own little category.
This
So
category always confuses me though, because it's best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, and it's always the single player games, which I get. Like family play doesn't always mean like, hey, you're playing as a family.
we can all play.
It's like,
And
hey,
Super Mario
we're
Jamboree
watching
isn't
as a
out
family.
yet.
It is.
When did it come out? You didn't tell me for us to play, for me to buy it?
Because you never want to, and you end up
I
selling the
do.
game a
That's
week
the
later.
well,
No,
no.
I went to
This one I
KJ.
would get.
I went to
This
our
one I would
mutual.
get only because my friend from Australia, he was like, "We should play this," and I was like, "Oh, I can't. I won't have money." But I was like, "Oh wait, I'll have a job." When did it come out?
All right, get the game and we'll play because I have the game.
It
But
came out the
I
17th.
asked, I didn't ask
Been
you
a
because I'm like,
month.
yeah, yeah. I said, Court's not getting this game. I'm not even gonna bother asking her. So I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to KJ, the hero. This is our mutual Twitch friend. Um,
Yeah,
because I'm like, you're the only person I know who likes to play Mario Party. I like to play Mario Party. Everybody else I know fucking hates this game. So I'm like, are you getting this game because I need a reason to buy it? Because Court's not gonna buy it. So I'm like, I need a reason to buy this game so I can play it. So
can't
please tell me you're
believe
getting this
you
game.
did
So
that.
he messaged me and he's like, yeah, I ended up buying the game. So I'm like, cool, I'll buy it right now. So we're gonna end up playing that at some point. So you get the game. We're gonna have the three of us.
Okay, okay. It could be our Christmas party game.
Oh yeah,
Now I have to find it.
I think I might have voted for Mario Party Jamboree, but I don't remember.
Uh,
All right, moving on. Best sim slash strategy.
I put Unicorn Overload because it's the only one that I knew.
Interesting.
My friend played it and he loved it. So
That makes sense. Um, I don't know. I think I picked Age of Mythology, but I really didn't know what to pick because this isn't my category. Um,
no.
we got best sports slash racing game. I just picked my go-to.
Sports. I put
Yeah.
WWE just to be different.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, let's
Actually, you know what?
go.
I think a lot of people like this year's WWE compared to last year, which was apparently very shit. I think, or it might have been 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Um, I just do my safe pick. I pick FC, which used to be FIFA. Because I'm like
No, it's
this.
FC.
That's the game. That's the sports game everybody's playing. It's FIFA. So
It's yeah,
I gotta
yep.
pick that.
That's EA's big money maker.
hmm Then we got best multiplayer.
I put Warhammer.
I can see
What's
that
happening?
there's.
There's magic everywhere.
I think a lot of like it's tough because it's like I can't compare these games evenly. They all are qualified for this category for in different aspects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like different genre games. Their play style is different. The way that multiplayer works is different. So I really don't know, and I don't remember what I picked.
All I remember is that everyone was like, play Warhammer. And then I played it and I was like, I don't know. They're like, no, no, no. Multiplayer is where it's at. And
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming their multiplayer is really good.
yeah. All right, let's go to best adaptation. So this is an
I
interesting
want,
one because last year was there was a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Like I think what ended up winning was it Last of Us?
probably.
Yeah, so that was our
Yeah.
favorite thing. This year is interesting because um,
13 just came out.
yeah, yeah. So it's interesting why that's nominated. Um, the other thing is these are all TV shows.
Yeah.
They're all TV shows. I forgot that Knuckles was. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't Sonic. Oh shit, this is the Knuckles TV show. Um, I've heard bad things about Tomb Raider, even though I still want to see it
I
because
didn't
I'm a Tomb
even
Raider fan.
know. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep, it's on Netflix. I'm a Tomb Raider fan, so like I feel um obliged
Obligated.
to, yeah, obligated to watch it, but I don't have Netflix, and
Yeah,
I've heard bad things.
I wanted to vote for Fallout.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know, these adaptations, man, they're so boring. I just
for
and
me
I
the
don't know if
clear
it's
answer is Fallout.
because like yeah, I don't know, man. I tried to watch Fallout and people were like, "It's so great." I'm just like, I stopped watching it.
Did you
So I
play
was
the
like,
games? We played
kind of.
76.
No, yeah, wait,
Yeah,
that was it. That was it. But I
yeah,
know kind of about it, but it like even
mm-hmm.
but that's why I was excited to play or to watch it because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, finally I can know nothing about
Yeah,
this
me and Jordan knew
show."
nothing. We went into it
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, and I don't like there's so many of these shows that come out that are adaptations and people are
Yeah,
like, "They're so good." And I'm just like, "They're so boring." Like even the first season of Arcane, I was like, "Nothing happens." Nothing happens. I was like, I don't. And so I haven't even seen the second one because I'm just like,
mm.
I have yet to be forced to watch it.
I'll watch it.
So
I'm gonna.
yeah,
I feel like we're gonna have
you know,
more spoiler casts
I have not
podcasts on this
sat
show.
on my
So
couch to watch something in
I
three
know.
months.
I know what you mean.
I like, yeah, I just sit at my fucking computer desk, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
But me and Jordan watched Fallout. We both actually really like the show. If you want to hear our thoughts, you can listen to our last podcast from 5 months ago where we talked about the show.
yeah, yeah.
um, I didn't know there was an adaptation to Like a Dragon.
I would
When
totally
did
watch
this
that.
happen?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's on Amazon.
On Amazon.
Oh
Maybe that's
man.
why I didn't know. I don't know. Even though Fallout's on Amazon. But okay. Also, I don't, even though I have Amazon Prime and I don't like intend to quit Amazon Prime, right? Like Amazon Prime Video has just been like a bonus. Like the first year I had Amazon Prime, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have these videos. I don't care." Like
Yep.
I didn't even use it. But then they started adding stuff like Critical Role and things like that. So I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'll use it." The fact that they've added ads back into the subscription, I'm like, I have it. I'm gonna still subscribe to it, but I'd rather pirate the shows than use them on the service that I'm paying for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Because then you don't have to worry
you
about
get the
fucking
fucking
ads.
ads. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm a person that the ads don't bother me. It gives me a chance to like look at my phone and doom
Yeah,
scroll for a little bit.
it doesn't bother me that much either because
We
I
grew up with commercials, so like
no,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
We grew up with
yeah,
commercials, and
yeah,
for the longest time, like web streaming content, before like the Netflix model, everything had ads for web streaming, and I didn't have the ad blocker and stuff back then. So, I just sat through. I'm like, I don't care. It's less that time than the commercials, so it's a couple. It's like 30 seconds. I can deal with it. I don't care. So like ultimately, like it's not that big of a deal for me, but the fact that they didn't have ads before and they're like, hey, you're going to be paying the same amount or more because sometimes subscription prices rise, um, but we're going to give you ads. It's like, that's a
what?
worse
What?
subscription than I already had. Like, why are you giving me a worse service?
Yeah.
So like, I'd rather just pirate the game, the content, even though I'm paying for it.
Oh, you said it. You guys heard it here
I'm
first.
paying for it.
Still,
I'm still gonna watch it. All right. Most anticipated game. I
uh,
think this is
you
the obvious one.
you know I wanted to put Death Stranding, but it's
You
GTA.
know,
Let's
you
be
know, I
honest.
want to pick Metroid Prime, but it's
Yeah, I think I
GTA.
picked it anyway, but I know the winner is going to be GTA.
Yeah,
I just know
I
it.
say if GTA wasn't here, all of these games would have a legitimate chance.
Yeah.
Um,
Like GTA, the fact that like someone went on to a random ass German game show that has nothing to do with video games
yeah,
or GTA in that fact, and the guy was like, where's GTA 6? This guy's probably like sitting like just like ah. He's like, that will be the day I quit my job and I will play nothing but GTA 6. Oh
And
my
they
god.
had swifter security than Jeff Keighley has, because that guy
Oh
was
my
kicked
god.
off the stage immediately.
Right? And the
Uh,
and the poor host was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And they're like, oh
yeah.
my god. Yeah. Did you want to
uh,
do a bingo card for or do a bet of if they're gonna get another like person coming onto the stage to say some random ass like political shit?
no, because I don't want to incentivize that behavior.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Well,
just
like,
saying oh, we gotta like maybe it'll happen this year, like, like we're being like excited for it.
yeah,
I don't want to promote that stuff. It's shitty behavior. Don't do it.
yeah.
Like
I don't want
uh,
to anticipate it, but I also want to be prepared to see it happen. You know, I always hate
mhm.
when I'm not prepared to see it happen, and
Yeah.
I miss it, and I'm like, ah, no, because then I don't want to rewatch it, because then I don't want to put more attention onto it than it has to
Yeah.
be. But yeah.
This
Anyways, these guys, I have no fucking idea who any of these guys are. Though I
this
think the one
is
guy might have seen on Philip DeFranco,
which one?
uh, Illo Juan or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Illo Juan.
For bad reasons? Good
I think
reasons?
bad reasons. I
Okay.
think I don't know.
This
I
is
have no
always a
idea.
category I'm like I want to stay out of. I don't even want
I just
to
picked the
vote.
VTuber. I was like, fuck it. I was like, oh, I'm like, I
Well, I
like her
think
outfit.
isn't there some controversy with Iron Mouse now? Like I'm seeing
What
stuff.
now?
That's what I'm
Is
saying. Like
because they
so
got pronouns?
I don't know, but like this category is always like one that I want to stay away from, because past like most of the time, past years, the winner ends up being a piece of shit, and it's just like because they've had Doctor Disrespect and Boogie and like some other people that have won, and it's just like they just end up being like the biggest pieces of shit in the world, and I'm just like we keep we keep giving awards to bad people, and I'm like I don't want to keep doing it, so I'm like I don't know who these people are. I don't know what their content is like. I don't know if they're gonna be shitty people in like a week, right?
Yeah,
or
right.
or their past content. The only person I'm aware of is Queso. I've seen a couple clips where he seems pretty funny, but I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like a MAGA guy. Like I have no
Oh
idea.
no.
So like I don't know. So I picked him because I'm like he's the only notable name that I see on this list, and I think he interacts with content with other content creators that I deem are safe. But
Oh,
I
I
don't know
think
if
I've seen
he's.
him. I think I've seen him do scary games, and he like jumps. Like it's
I
so.
think so
I
too. Yeah.
just yeah. But I was like, I don't want to. I just didn't want to vote for any of these guys. I was like, I don't know who
I
they are.
That's what I'm like. Do I just like not vote and take the hit? Because I'm like I'd rather do that. But I picked
Yeah,
queso. I
I
ended up
vote
picking
for
queso.
myself.
All right. Next then, best esports game. I I think for
I
these
put
categories, I don't remember anything I
I
picked.
put
So
Bang Bang because that's the one I didn't know, and I like the girl on the front. So
okay, I think that's
yeah,
the one I was like that's not it, because I didn't know that was a thing. I'm like it's got to be one of the other ones.
right. I was like, Bang Bang,
Yeah.
pew pew pew.
Okay. Next is best esports athlete.
I didn't know any of these, so I put Faker.
Faker's the only one I do know, but I don't
Oh,
remember if I know Faker for controversial reasons or not.
oh
But since it
no,
was the only
no.
name I know, I picked Faker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
then
we got the best esports team.
I think so. Like, uh, what's it? Fuck. Um,
By the way, guys, I should just clarify. I didn't actually vote for any of these. These are on a list. I wrote down a list. I don't feel qualified to vote and skew the awards, because I don't like you can see going through this list, I don't know. So I don't want to skew them for the wrong reasons. So
yeah, I think I voted for Team Liquid because I thought that my friend worked for them, but I don't think she
okay.
does. but
All right.
they have my vote.
Team Liquid is the only name that I know, so that's the reason why I picked them too.
Yeah.
And then player's voice, these are going to be revealed at some point. So I think these are all just like community picks. So on December 2nd, you'll figure out who. There's 30 nominees. Vote for 10. Then that's on December 2nd, and then on December 5th, there's gonna be 10 nominees. Vote for 5. Maybe I'll do this. I don't know.
Your
'Cause
player's voice.
maybe there's gonna be games
Oh,
that I have played and I want to have on the actual awards.
yeah.
But yeah, December 2nd, 5th, and 9th are the voting times for these.
Oh, cool. Put my
That's it.
book right there.
Those are the game awards.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited
Yeah.
to be late. So,
Court's not gonna make it on time. I'll be live. Jordan should be joining me. Lumi should be joining us. I don't know who else is gonna be there. So,
yeah.
but
I'll
we'll have a
try to
good time.
figure out maybe a way to get off early, but
Okay.
it's
You don't
retail
have
and it's
to because we got coverage.
okay.
But
Yeah, I'll try to just be there as soon as I possibly can, but it's like yeah, usually the same transit time is the same as travel driving time, but we'll see. Fingers
Mhm.
crossed. But aside from that, those are my votes. I have them
you
written
just
down.
you just leave work and it's just like way worse traffic and like what's going on, and then it's just like, well, it's the game awards, people are trying to get home.
Exactly. Literally be like people trying
Yeah.
to get home for those game awards, man. Yep, pretty much.
I
But
think
all
that's
right.
it. I'm late to a
Yeah,
stream.
you're really late
It's
to
fine.
think this was going to be an hour. You fool.
It's fine.
You fool.
I might actually step out and get an iced coffee.
All right. Nice. I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight or not.
Okay.
It was like a maybe stream, but I feel like I just need a night off to just
I feel you.
I don't know what I want to do, but
Hmm.
I just got to chill.
Watch some Arcane.
No. Not unless I'm forced to watch it with somebody who like makes me like watch it.
What if I got to start watching it? What if I watch it? We'll watch it together.
I wouldn't. Oh man, I wouldn't be able to do it online because I would just be like on my phone the whole time, just be like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh, did something happen?" Okay. Anyways, like if as long as I have someone that's sitting with me,
Yeah.
then I can generally my attention can be focused. But yeah, aside from that, it's a no go. I'm like I can be doing 10 million other things right now.
Yeah.
But
Well, let us
okay,
know your personal game of the year picks in the comments down below. What did you play? What did you think deserves the nominations? Do you think that DLC should be considered for game of the year? I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Go follow us on Blue Sky
yes,
and have a good night.
sweet. All right, well, thanks for having me, dude.